That's right. Hey, everybody, you know what time it is. It's your man, PStock. This is iHipHopTV Presents. You know how we do it. We bring it in all styles, all ways, and we bring you everything. Not only in the music, but everything. News, health, your health, financial well-being. And we have a great lineup tonight for this show. This is it. So tonight, who we got going, the topic is going to be topicals and taxes. We got Jared in the house, Jefro's
What's
Botanicals.
up?
You know how it goes. Here we go. Taxes and topicals and taxes. That's huge right there.
Well, I think it's a time, man. Everyone needs to be on the release of the pains they have. We have a lot of chronic issues out there. But anyway, thank you very much for having me on today. I appreciate it, PStock and iHipHopTV. You guys are awesome.
Anytime. This is big, because the information is valuable to our followers, to our subscribers. We want to keep them up to date with anything that they can use they could benefit from. And I think this product right here, this one right here, the bottom. If you see this right here, this is it right here. Copper Plus. Man, this is all you need right here. You got to have this in all first aid kits. It should be mandatory. This should be in it right here. But it's good. But we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But, it's great. It's a great product. And iHipHopTV is 100% behind it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. And the next thing I want to talk about is the season of now, waiting for those W-2s to come in. And, businesses alike are prepping for that, and individuals alike. And my friend, fellow Marine, we're all veterans on this show tonight. You're going to introduce one of them.
The vet show.
Yeah, there he is, Norman Tillman.
Hey,
there he is.
How you doing, buddy?
What's going on? I feel amazing. I've been using your product. I had to put my glasses on so I could look smart like y'all. Everybody had on glasses. So I said, let me put my glasses on so I can look smart too. But yeah, man, I've been using the your CBD with the Copper
Plus.
the rub on it, yeah, and it's amazing. As you already know, Jared, for those of you who don't, maybe even you PStock the last time we chopped it up, my hips are in bad shape. I got that psoriatic arthritis, and for a minute, I had to get around. My mobilization was wicked bad. So, I had one of them chairs that the Marine Corps had given me, with the push chair, looked like old man, whatever.
Yeah.
So, I started doing research on alternative medications because I'm really not too enthusiastic about, I'm not too fired up about having no metal put in my body, but at the same time, I'd like to increase my mobility because as y'all know, I'm a golf fanatic. So having said all that, I've used all kinds of products, but none that are as effective as Jared's product. That this stuff is amazing. I drove all the way to Scottsdale, Arizona to bump into my man, and the mad scientist took me into the lab and put me together a nice little gimmick where I put it on, I started applying it, and I noticed an immediate result. So anybody that's out there looking for an organic product to help with any kinds of aches and pains they're going through, my suggestion would be to reach out to Jared and get some of them. In fact, Jared, I got my box earlier today, so I got me a whole nother get down. So I'm in good shape now.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm excited to be with y'all tonight, man. I'm looking forward to the combo.
Yes.
Cool.
That's big.
Well, I did. I was trying to get involved with one of my stories. I'll tell you about. I had an order from this girl named Julian, and when Julian had ordered from me, it was 2 Copper Pluses like you have there, PStock, and 2 of the capsules that Unk has, and I have a couple bottles here to show you guys. our BioCopper 1 capsules. And I get a call probably about 2 weeks later or something like that, I guess. I don't know. And it ends up being this lady, Nancy, from HollyHillsHealthFoods.com. And they start asking me all these questions about my cream, saying that gentleman, Ray, the owner, I guess, had a stroke. And right when I saw the message on my phone for the voicemail first, I was like, wow, I got to get a hold of these people. He had a stroke. And like, that's the number one thing I like to work with. If I can have somebody with a stroke and get them recovered about 85% faster than any hospital I've ever seen. We've been doing this consistently. And then, so right when I saw the name Julian and I put Nancy together, Holly Hills Health Foods, I was like, oh crap. Like, I know that I just sent them a package of extra strength cream I have online, the Copper Plus cream online, and also the BioCopper capsules to send them to put on their shelves. But another lesson we learned, how lovely lessons are. One thing is that because Ray was in the hospital so long, he started getting bed sores really bad. And he owns Holly Hills Health Foods. So he has plenty of stuff to work on, whatever. But he ordered our stuff and it worked for his feet and helped all of his bed sores and recovering all the skin, putting it back together like it did for me when I got burnt from a motorcycle on my calf. It put the skin and grew the hair back again. We're playing with something very beautiful that's never been done. This has only been when I first met Charlie Barker from Mito Synergy and C Lab back in 2017. It was what he called was his miracle because he got to meet somebody he said that was going to be the key to the world. And here I am now, and he passed away on the 5th of December. God rest his soul. But he taught me so much, and he gave me such an ability to learn and really create something fun. And when I heard about Ray getting his foot healed up and his body healed up from the sores, which is really unfortunate, they saw my products and they saw my labels. And, some labels work for some people, but you have to remember the markets are different. So their market is more towards the older folks. So we have labels for older folks. And we also don't have any boxes. So they said, do you have any boxes for your product? Yes, I do now. So we boxed them all up. We have brand new boxes going up on site and for all the locations, for retail locations with all the proper weight, content weight, total weight, and disclaimers and whatnot. So this takes a long time to build because, my CFO, when my CFO passed away, he was in charge of all that stuff. Al Harris, and he passed away about 3 years ago, right before Super Bowl, the Saturday before Super Bowl at 9:45. Al Harris passed, and would have never known that, that your buddy that you love so much, to the grind, motherfucker, to the grind. That's what he always tell me, to the grind. But he taught me so much. He taught me about cultural dichotomy. He taught me about passion to your product and about passion to people. And I think that's what really opened me up so much to really see that we have something so beautiful. We're capable of healing so many people that we could go drop into a village right now and heal the people in a village. Why can't we do that right now? Wouldn't that be so cool? Like you drop into a village, you give these people this stuff, and all of a sudden they all start healing up, and you have an opportunity to go save lives. And I want to be recognized only for that healing part of it, for the product. So recognize the product, and I think that's a value. I don't worry about me because we made the product, and let's get it out there to the people, and let's go find something else for me to work on that Unk and PStock and I can go kick on. So that's one of the things I thought was unique is finding a product that had blended by the 369 theories, which is Tesla. I wrote up on the wall, Sir Mix-a-Lot. I'm from Flint, Michigan, and I put Sir Mix-a-Lot up, and I put Tesla's theory, and I put 3-6-9, and I couldn't see. I picked up my book. I wrote my formula down, and when I looked, I put it up on the wall, and my formula all ended up being a 3, a 6, or a 9 when you added all the numbers together. And it just really freaked me out because I never even looked at it like that, because I have been pressed to do this. God forced me and gave me the path to go make something so beautiful and elegant for the world. And I know it because I've been pressed by so many people and hurt by so many people with them trying to pull away from what I have instead of me using what I have. And I think that's where you find good people like PStock donating their time and their network, and Unk coming on here to help us out and support me as a Marine and as veterans. That we're all veterans, Unk's a Marine, PStock's Navy veteran. We're all here. I'm Air Force reservist. We all have a past. We all are veterans here, but how many veterans don't have the opportunity to heal right now? What outlets do they not have? What resources are they lacking right now? How can we get that out to them? Like you said, PStock, it's like a miracle cream. It's a battle bomb. And I sent Battle Bomb to Nova Scotia, to Veterans for Healing Global. I did that because, and they paid for it. I gave him discounted prices on everything, of course. He's my buddy, my partner, Fabian Henry.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a book called The Secret, Through a Soldier's Eyes. And that brings us to one of our books that are right now. Andrew Milburn got out of the Marine Corps at 31 years as a colonel. When he went in the Marine Corps in 1991, he'd already been in for about 3 years. He was a corporal, and he became an officer. And he was in Weapons Company 29, 81's platoon. In 1991, Jarrett Saineman gets out of boot camp in December, and I'm going to the Fleet Marine Force, and guess where I get stationed at? 2nd Battalion, 9th Marines, 81's platoon. So he was our platoon commander, and he was one hardcore mother effer. And he's been out there training Ukrainians right now, the troops out there, our tactics that he has learned from different companies and different affiliates that he's been around the world with, which is just amazing. His book he wrote, one of them is called When the Tempest Gathers. So you can check that one out. It's the #1 seller on Amazon. So, being around creative people, being around veterans, helping out veterans like we need right now is just huge for us. We really have to work on this. Also with the homelessness, with Tom's Palms I'm working with, is a nonprofit that we have. She was on the show before. You can check her out on YouTube on iHipHopTV.com or on their YouTube channel and subscribe. But I think that it's great that you guys showed a great story about what she's doing out there to help the homelessness and telling us what our rates are right now. How many homeless people are in each city that we're in, and what are their needs, and how come the cities are pulling us away from helping them because they don't want to deal with them, but yet they got millions of dollars in their bank accounts that they can help, but they don't. Yeah. Again, when we go out, we hand out creams, we hand out anything that you need for toiletries. Blankets right now are going crazy. We just went to the podcast. Yeah, all that stuff. We just went out there and did that. So, we really need to think about how we can help out. And I think that's one of the things that, like Unk was saying, the Freeway Boys Foundation is the same thing as pulling people off the street, getting them back in education, getting them back into jobs, getting them out of that welfare scenario and getting them on top of their path so we can give them a launching pad. That's the whole point of this, is to give people an opportunity to move forward instead of backwards. Why are we regressing? You know how many free phones are out there right now that people could have if they want it? Okay. How many pads they have? There's tablets they can get right now. There's programs that are out there right now that people are taking advantage of to help us right now have communication, so that if you're having a problem, you can at least have a phone. So you can see them all over the place. They're sitting in these little tents that says free government phones. There you go. That's your free minutes. So you got to use them wisely and get smart, educate yourself. And so we're going to try to do that same thing. We have a lot of things in plan right now. We're trying to use funding for this. We're looking for funding right now. We're looking for partners to come on board that want to help educate and heal our veterans right now, get them back to work, get them out of this Vet 22 scenario where suicide is hurting us, using our numbers that we can use right now, 988, taking care of your mental and getting us back to where we were when we were young. And, we went in there as a volunteer and thinking that everything is going to be all cherries, and we went into some hell. And I've been there. I get it. I'm a combat vet. And I think we all have stories we can talk about with pain And why did I become point man? And how many rounds came across me, and how come I'm here? I ask myself that all the time. I got a tumor behind my right eye that came back after surgery. I'm like, why am I still here, man? God has a plan. That's why I'm still here. You get it? He's got a plan for us, and he's got a plan for you. And if you can pay attention and listen up and listen with your heart and your mind and open yourself up to God and say, hey, get my path straight so I can get on that right path, because that's what I had to do. That's how I found you guys, by finding my buddy G Platinum, Corinthian, and Enoch, and those guys that really put us on a path to understand that I have a mission in my own self to give myself to God first. And then once I do that, then I can understand, why did he give me the mission now to go out there and heal the people? So if that's what I have to do, then there's no asking why anymore. You just got to go do it.
Right.
So there's no ask, guys. It's just go do. So if we can just go do it, and just like I want to get to that before we roll out of here, is go do your taxes. And if you need your taxes done, you got to get a hold of Unk.
Nice
You
segue,
got
my
to
man.
get a hold of him and make sure that he takes care of you. He will knock you guys out with his taxes and what he can do for you guys. I've already heard it.
Right.
I think amazing opportunity for everybody. You should jump on top of what he's given you. He has opportunities to teach you, so that if you need to teach people to learn how to get their taxes done, he can embrace you upon that and pull you in and show you the fundamentals under his son's wing. It's a really beautiful opportunity for everyone to grow and learn how to do things that I don't know how to do. So, Unk, if you want to tell us a little bit about that.
Let us know. It's that time of the year. You know,
Well,
everybody.
First of all, I'm trying to digest all that information that Jared just hit us with. See, you know, Jared, boy, once you wind him up, he like to energize a bunny.
And it's good. And it's all real.
Amazing
all
information, though. Yeah, a lot of amazing information.
I love
First of
you
all,
guys, man.
blessings, honor, and respect to you, gentlemen. Thanks for even inviting me, you know, on the show. And the one thing that I know is that the smartest person in the room is the person that brings them smart people to the room. So I'm gonna try to limit my time on the mic, but I will just let everybody know that one of the things that I am trying to do in an effort to create my legacy with my children is to get them involved in the business of tax prep. So we're moving forward on a daily. Monday we'll be fully operational and ready to start transmitting returns to the IRS. So anybody that may be interested in, and it'll be a software that's so user friendly that you can actually enter your own data and check to see what your refund is going to be. And if it doesn't look, you know, like what you've been used to getting, simple call to myself or my son, customer support, and we'll make sure that, you know, all the data that you entered it correct, so that we can maximize your legal tax return, what you got coming to you for loaning Uncle Sam all that interest-free money that you loan him throughout the year in that withholding. But having said all of that, I just want to first of all say that Jared is telling y'all the absolute truth. If you haven't had an opportunity to get your hands on some of the Copper Plus CBD, the ointment that Jared has, please do yourself a favor and get you some. You know, I suffer from psoriatic arthritis, both hips, and I'm using it. And I used to have the walking chair and all of that. Not anymore. I haven't walked the golf course. I hadn't prior to using Jared's products. I drove all the way from LA to Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm kind of like that. You know, I don't talk the talk. I get down. So as soon as he told me that he had something that he knew would be 10 times better than the stuff I was already using, I had to go and see what he was talking about. So I went down, he gave me some products, took me to his lab, showed me the whole gimmick. Man, listen, amazing by God's mighty grace that, you know, he bumped into the information to put together his products with all the little secret sauces and the ingredients, is organic, of course, and they work. But yeah, and also just to mirror what he also said about the Freeway Boys Foundation, what we're seeking to do with the Freeway Boys Foundation is give back to all those communities that we so negatively affected back in the day when we were distributing that poison. So my plan is to reach out to the faith-based organizations all over the country and all of the states and cities where, you know, we were there being ministers to society, and reach out to the pastors and bishops and ministers as you would, and just let them know that if they have parishioners, you know, churchgoers that are interested in becoming entrepreneurs, that the same way we used to share that negative information, we're going to share all that positive information that's out there. Things like access to resources, you know, it's one of those things where if you're a prideful person, it's going to be difficult for you to be successful in life. But if you're a humble person and you allow yourself to understand that you have to start where you are. So if you don't have an iPhone, oh well. If you don't have an Android, oh well. If you don't have a phone at all, oh well. There are phones. They call them Obama phones in the hood. That may be what they're called, but they're phones that you have access where you don't have a bill. You got minutes. If you need to reach out, get on the internet, Google for some information, just to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, by His mighty grace. That's what you got to do. So I ain't gonna take up the whole. You know, I ain't as smart as Jared. I'm gonna cut myself off right there. But
that's bullshit.
Good. Hey,
he's full of shit. I'll tell you that right now.
I have a question regarding the taxes, you know, for people out there involved in taxes. And that's for everybody, even people with small businesses, people with everything. Now, a quick tax question that I have that somebody asked me that I couldn't answer. I'm not a tax guy. They have I guess a small business, medium-sized business, and they was wondering, like, if for stuff like, say they have a tax that their companies in California, but companies in Nevada, but their businesses in California, you know, a tax-free state and whatnot. Can you still do taxes like that, like cross?
Well, you know, that's one of the misconceptions. All the states that are tax-free are only the state. That's the state tax. You know, it's two taxes: a federal tax, and a state tax. Right. Yep. So even in Nevada, you still have a federal tax. But you don't have a state tax. So wherever you generate the income, that revenue is taxed by state tax by way of the state rules and regulations. But all states are taxed federally by the federal tax code. So if this is like a business that can be reported on like a Schedule C, a self-employed document that the IRS uses, that people who are entrepreneurs own their own independent operators or whatever, they use that form Schedule C to report that income that they earn on that document. Okay. And you can also understand that you can work a job, an actual 9 to 5, where you get a W-2 and still have a side hustle where, you know, even if you're not like a LLC or a corporation, because I hear that information being disseminated all around, it doesn't mean that you're not a business. All it means is that you're not registered the way you should prefer to want to be registered. Right. But you can, in fact, submit that income that you generated to the IRS by way of a Schedule C. And then you can best try to not guesstimate, but, you know, try to be as accurate as you can about what expenses, what your cost of goods sold, what your product is, if you paid rent, used part of your house. It's all kinds of things that, you know, if you're not aware of, my son's tax business, which is Westbrook Consulting, will be able to, if we don't know or have information directly that we need, we have access to people who have that information, enrolled agents, CPAs, so forth and so on. But my son, I'm just trying to get him focused on the simple tax return by way of like a 1040 easy. All you got is a W-2 and some children that may qualify for earned income tax credit and additional child care tax credit, that kind of stuff. But it's not to say that we can't do more complex tax returns. everybody got stocks and bonds and things like that, we can address that too. I try to make it user. We have an online software where the people can actually log in and again enter their own data and get a feel for not being afraid. See, that's the main thing. That's one of the reasons why the Jackson Hewitts and the Liberty Taxes, and I'm not bad mouthing them, I work with them, but at some point in time, if we're really going to become economically stable and feasible in the world, we have to stop being afraid to have conversations and share that information with our, with our loved ones, with our children, with our friends. We need to start having those kinds of conversations, and then we won't be so apprehensive about the IRS and other, things that we tend to be paranoid about just doing on our own. So that's my goal, is to, help people to understand that, those are the kinds of things you should know how to do anyway, just on GP. You feel me? Sorry about that. I'm old and I'm clumsy. I was trying to make sure that I was.
You all good, you all good. You all good. That's vital. That's vital tax information. Now, I've heard something, and maybe you can help enlighten this with the viewers, especially the females, because I think that's one of the ones it's going to affect. But it's all families. That earned income credit that they've been earning over the past time for the pandemic and all that stuff, isn't that going to play a factor for a lot of people? It's going to play a negative factor to the fact that they're not going to get the returns that they're used to getting. Is that correct?
Well, actually, with what President Biden has done, and I don't want to be too specific about it because I don't want to disseminate any bad, any information that isn't exactly correct. You can always go on irs.gov and just put a question in the search box. What's the deal with the earned income tax credit, the EITC? And it'll tell you, because my understanding is that the number went up and it is available. There are, not all of Congress, the Republicans and the Democrats agree that the earned income tax credit is a good thing. But my understanding is that President Biden supports it, and it is going to be available to people who are filing their taxes. And you can even recoup it if you didn't file last year based on issues centered around, as you said, Pete, the COVID,
pandemic.
The COVID thing, the pandemic. So if you didn't file, which a lot of people didn't file last year, and some people didn't even file a year before that, it doesn't mean that you can't recoup those monies. So those options are still available to you. You only have a 3-year window though to recoup potential refunds that are owed to you. So
funds or anything like that.
You didn't file in 18, you probably, and they owe you money, you're probably not going to get that bread. But 19, 20, 21, you should be good. 20, 21, 22, you should be good. If they owe you money. Now keep in mind, if you owe them money, you owe them until they put you back in that box. They ain't playing no you know how it is.
Yeah. But you better make a payment arrangement if it gets to that way.
That
to keep
part right there, that part right there.
You
But listen, y'all know it's 6:30. I'm still waiting for the tax software company people to call me back with my son. I wanted to try and get him on. Jared, I sent him the link, but he said he was at his I want to say his baby cousin, his uncle's son, which would be his correct, is being baptized, and that's why he couldn't participate. But I'm gonna get him.
We can get him back on. Don't worry,
we're gonna get him on. We're gonna get him on. We're gonna definitely get him on. And I appreciate y'all letting me come on and just spit and you know what I'm saying, and enjoy all the wonderful sharing of information that you guys did. I want to get my information about all the other stuff that I'm involved in. PStock by way of the nonprofit organization. We also have a company called Freeway Emporium, which is how I actually bumped into Jared, because I was looking for ways to help people who are trying to deal with issues surrounded around pain, which a lot of human beings are dealing with now.
Yeah.
And they choose to use alternatives to, the synthetic stuff that's been out here, that's been pushed on us by big pharma. So I applaud Jared for all that he's doing to try and present to the people an alternative to that other stuff. And I'm trying to work as closely with him as I can to get the word out that his products are available and that they're effective. I'm not just the hair club president, I'm a member, so I'm not, speaking. I'm not just like advertising for Jared. I'm actually, letting everybody know that I've actually used the product. No, using the product. If y'all was where I'm at right now, I smell like Jefro Botanicals, and I smell wonderful to myself. So listen, y'all be good. Appreciate y'all having me on the show. Uncle Shitty, y'all know what it is. Keep me posted whenever y'all doing this kind of thing, man. Get me involved. Cut me in or cut it out. PStock.
We got you.
You already know.
You,
Jared.
appreciate you guys.
Be good.
Thanks,
man.
Unk.
God bless
Appreciate you too.
Bye.
Appreciate
Much
you.
love, guys.
All right. Advice would you give to another aspiring artist right now? What would you tell them?
Ain't perfect, but I feel it's worth it. Coming for everything I own, I know I deserve it. Told my mama that I got it, she ain't gotta worry.
Man, don't let nobody tell you different. You keep pushing. Don't listen to nobody. Don't care about what nobody says. Like none of their opinions, how they treat you. If they hate in your comments, just push past them. Be like, I don't care.
She was dropping bags on me, I know you was pledging. Hey, and from my daddy out the jail soon when he touched down, throwing paper like the mail do.
And I gotta bring up my dad's label, MME, you feel me? We gonna go up with that too.
Shout him out. Shout it out. Shout
Yes,
your dad's
sir.
label
Shout
out.
out to my pops label, MME, man. Yo, you already know who it is, man. It's your boy, Mirage. And I just got done doing my little interview with PStock on iHipHopTV 101, man. Y'all check us out. Mad Money Militia, man. Peace.
That was
big.
cool.
So we gonna follow up on that, with Westbrook and get that out there.
Westbrook Consulting,
Westbrook Consulting, and Unk is right. This Copper Plus, this product right here is a great product. You gotta get with it. Now we talk about this Copper Plus, and I seen it. Then you got the Battle Bomb. What's the difference between the two? There's no difference.
None. It was only because it was going to veterans, and I wanted to match their colors.
Yeah,
and it's online. You can see it online at jefrosbotanicals.com.
Mm-hmm.
And that was I helped them with the logo and put it to my Canusa game logo, and made it kind of like a swave in the middle of a flag with USA on one side and Canada on the other.
Right.
And made it like that light blue, which is Veterans for Healing Global.ca. That's their company.
And that's where
they're my partner. So I sent them the Battle Bomb, and they loved it. And then his daughter broke her leg, so they used that to heal her leg up too. So they were super. The daughter's like, "I love your Jefro's cream." It's always really cool to feel people's vibrations when they get healed up, and you get to be a piece of that. It's just meant to be. It feels so binding and so beautiful.
I can imagine that's the case. I mean, it's got to be a great feeling that you're helping so many people.
It is. I wish I could get more people that would know, because I'm such a small piece of the pie. Yeah. So that's all. It's knowing that you have something that beautiful, and being told all over the world that you're something, that you're really helping heal people with a good product, and then realizing that are those people expressing to other people the beauty that we have available, because it really is that unique. And I want it to go to everybody because I know what it can do. I've been told by Dr. Judy Mikovits that we have a miracle cream. She was with Dr. Fauci. She got put in jail twice from him. And here she is free, going out there telling everybody about the COVID. And, what not to do and what it's doing to people and the blood clotting and, the little microbes, the robots and all that stuff inside and all this weird stuff. And, I'm learning more about all that stuff and whatever, but
It's big.
knowing that when we can put our product into somebody's blood and show them that we can clean the spirochetes out and make them cleaner and have a healthier system means that your body's going to work better, your heart's going to pump better, your organs going to work better.
Mm-hmm.
You have a binding agent with copper-1 going into all your major organs if you put it through your nasal cavity, which is your ACE2 receptor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're instantaneously getting healed up, I don't know how to express it anymore. It's just so beautiful. It's like,
You mean you can take this? You can take the cream and put it in your nasal cavity as well. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, we had one of the partners with Mitosynergy, Marge's sister Mary, called and told her that her husband was sick for 3 weeks with the vid.
I remember.
And she'd been putting it in her nose, and she goes, "I've been not sick, and he is." So she's like, "We're getting ready to take him to the hospital now, so we might as well just take this. I'm going to put it in his nose." Right when she put it in his nose, about 4 hours went by. He shot a bunch of black stuff out and popped up. And she said, and this is Marge. She's like, "Jarrett, and he's my favorite brother-in-law." So, to hear that from Marge, who started the copper-1, who got this FDA approval called the NDR 910 for the copper niacin, it is just the most amazing ability to have something and know that we can use it. And it didn't turn, the first day we did this on July 13th to 17.
Right.
Charlie Barker was live and wanted to know if it turned red or if it turned green. And if it turned green, blue, it was gone. And it oxidized. We could never put it with this.
Yeah.
And we ran the temperature real low and we tried to go slow with it to see if it would melt in. And man, it just turned so beautiful. And then now, you can see some pictures of my stuff now that are honeycombing, like online. If you type in Jefro's Botanicals and go look at the copper pictures.
Yeah. I'm on the Instagram now.
Some neat pictures.
Pictures on there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then Friday, if anyone's in Tempe, Arizona, the Tempe Chiba Hut, Chiba Hut _Tempe invited me out for doing a vendor spot with them. And I've been with Ray, the manager there, forever, smoking out with them and stuff,
Right.
And healing, of course, because I've got my Marine Corps stuff with PTS and with my rheumatoid arthritis. It's been really hitting my hand lately. I've been putting a lot more cream on my hand.
Yeah. I've been using my shoulder. I don't even feel it now. That's the
Isn't
first
that great?
attack. I mean, it works. That's why I'm sitting there saying, my shoulder, this right here works.
How long did it take you on your shoulder? After a while, you won't need it anymore. You'll stop using my cream. Watch. Everyone stops using my cream. They're like, I don't need it no more.
It was like
it works.
It was probably 2 nights, but it are 2 nights because I was skeptic about how much to use the first night, and I used a little. And I'm like, wow. The second night, I really didn't, but I said, well, let me put some on just in case. I really didn't, but I still put some on just in case. And you're right, I haven't needed it on that shoulder since.
So let's talk about that too. Application process on our creams are really, really valuable to know. Most of the time when you have like your chronic spots of pain are really, really good. But what I want to let you know is you have to go both ways. If you say that your shoulder is sore, then you would put the cream here and here. So you would go underneath and over the top. So you want to penetrate as much of that area as possible so that you can help all the muscles attached. One of the problems we have with people trying to fix a muscle is they only fix where they think it's hurting. They don't go out to where it's attached, where it's painful too. So where you're are attached at and all these different spots, your muscles are bound into your bone, then you have to make sure that you get that whole area. Another spot that we do is right behind our neck, along your spinal cord, left and right side. That's your central nervous system going down. And if you open up, it's kind of like if you look at your breaker panel in your house and you feel that and you press it and you hold it there for about 10 to 15 seconds and just press really hard, as you can press without it hurting you. And then after you let go, you should feel like a nice little bit of a like ooh. And when you put the cream on it, and you put the cream in there, you'll feel a tingling. And
Right.
most people that I know that are, if you are, let's say, um, your handicap would be that you're paralyzed from the neck down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got people now that are paralyzed from the neck down that have no more breathing. They're breathing on their own. They have they're eating on their own. They're grabbing their own food and they're opening up their legs now. Now that's never been done before. They didn't know how. And at the time that I'd done that, I only had 1 milligram of copper. Today I have 20.
Mm.
So now instead of like me taking 3 to 4 weeks for psoriasis and eczema to go away, now it takes me just a couple of days because I was at 1. Now, I've impressed myself upon how I can do what I can do.
Right.
And what we have to do is have to educate yourself on people pressing you to do something that you would have never thought you could do because they forced you that way. And that's what we think about pain when we think how bad pain is. Like, oh, it's so painful. Why isn't pain a lesson for us, though? And if pain's a lesson, then how do we deal with it? Eradicate the pain. Find the pain spot. Find out what it is. Typically let me run to the ER. Well, I've had people that had urinary tract infections with women, and they would take my cream and put it across their abdomen and the bottom lower half, and it'd be gone. Menstrual cycles gone.
Oh, the cramping.
Yeah, for real.
Women's cramping and stuff. That's
yeah,
big for that. I
it's
didn't
just
think about
crazy.
that.
Well, there's a lot of things you don't think about. I mean,
For that, for even the women's.
When you think about sports, the first thing you think about is either their favorite sport. Let's say it's tennis, or it's NFL, or it's NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think about the bobsled guy?
Mm-mm.
Do you think about the pole vaulter?
Mm-mm.
Do you think about the hurdler?
Shot putter.
Okay.
None of that
Yeah. Come on. And what I mean is, like, are you really thinking about all the sports? There's so many sports. They just made what did they just make a sport? They just made the Olympics. Breakdancing is now in the Olympics.
The breakdancing is now in the Olympics. Now
2024 Olympics.
That's not a sport. I can't say that's a sport. I mean,
let me beg to differ. I grew up in the hood, and I'm telling you, it is not easy to break down.
It isn't easy.
You spin on your head for freaking 20 seconds and feel how you are. I couldn't even get on my head right now. Right? If I tried to get on my head, I'd fall over right now. And I'm
they should leave that in the dance category where it belongs. Leave it. I mean,
but it's a sport, and I can help with it.
Hip hop culture, yeah, you can help with it right there. The Jefro's Botanicals.
Again, if it's volleyball, if your vocals are up, my Uncle Mark with Grand Funk Railroad loves my stuff. I told him, if you have problems with vocal cords, put it in your vocal cords. So all these different rappers and R&B artists and country singers and all these people, I just go up to them and I say, try this on your vocal cords if you have any problems. Then they're like, well, it's not just that, but my band member is a drummer, and he says arms and his shoulders are messed up. And I'm like, oh, here, I got one. I go to the drummer. The drummer's like, well, look at the piano guy over there. And I'm like, oh, shit, your wrist and your back because you're standing up and you're prancing around on top of that board. So, I'm watching these guys and my uncle playing across the whole place. Like, he played every single instrument. He played the piano backwards. He played the drums backwards. The guy threw the sticks up. He caught him on the other side and started playing the drums over top of him. It was just insane. He's 73 years old when I watched this. First time I saw my Uncle Mark, that's 37 years. 37 years I've not seen him since I was like 6 years old as a kid in Fenton, Michigan. And here I see him playing on a stage at 77 years old. I'm in my 40s freaking out. And you know why I went there?
Why?
Because my dad called me and said, Jarrett, your Uncle Mark is coming in town right now to play with Harley Davidson Entertainment, and he needs some weed. And I'm Jefro Kush in the weed industry. And so my dad, I said, all right, I'm going to bring some over. And so I'm all nervous, and I pull up, and I got my creams in my truck, of course. I'm pouting that stuff everywhere. And but I took that little baggie probably like just an eighth, and I stuffed it in between my pants because I saw police there. It was at Harley Davidson on it's in here in Mesa, Arizona, Country Club and I-60. There's a big old Harley Davidson dealership there. Chosie's, it used to be Chosie's. I think it's called Chester's now. Chester's Harley Davidson, and my dad worked there, so I went there to go watch the deal and also bring it in. So I get out of my car and I walk up. I see those guys and I'm freaking out, so I stuff it in my pants. I walk around and they're like, I said, well, I'm here to see my uncle, and they're like, what's your name? I said, Jarrett Sandman. They're like, oh, and they gave me a packet and handed it to me and said, you go through. And I'm looking at all these cops, man. This is a Harley Davidson event with all the Harley guys. I'm like, frisked right now. They're gonna fuck me. I'm getting busted. I'm done. No, man. They let me walk right through. Like, have a good day, sir. Like, yeah, your uncle rocks. I'm like, all right, thanks, guys. I'm like going there. I'm like, my uncle since I was 6 years old. So I have no idea what he looks like besides what I see. So I go sit down with my dad and my Aunt Betty, or my not Aunt Betty. I mean, my dad and his wife. Mm-hmm. And my dad's like, did you bring that weed? Because it wasn't legal, at the time in Arizona. Yeah. And so I said, I got it. And he's like, all right. He's like, did you roll it up? And I pulled it out of my pants. I'm like, I don't know how to roll. And my dad's like, what? He's like, you're a fucking pothead. I'm like, Dad, I've never known how to roll a joint in my life. So he starts laughing. Betty's laughing. So he's like, well, you better go find somebody and ask them to roll up those joints. I'm like, well, shit, I don't know anybody here. I just showed up here to Harley Davidson. Everyone's in leather coats and shit, man.
Yeah, everybody know how to roll.
I'm a little jockey guy, white guy walking up to you, and I'm Jefro. So I look over and I see a group to the right. We're sitting underneath the canopy in front, and there's big bales of hay in like rows that were stacked like around the amphitheater.
Right.
So they were kind of at an angle. There was like 2 or 3 rows of those. And I walked up to the table on the right, and there's a bunch of people there. And I said, hey, guys, I said, I got a big question. I remember they had all leather coats and vests on. They had bandanas that said voodoo something on it. I'm like, oh, God, these guys are Satan or something, They're going to kill me. So I'm like, hey, I got a question for you guys, if you don't mind. I said, I'm very sorry to interrupt you guys. I said, but my uncle is the lead singer tonight at this thing, and Uncle Mark, and he asked me to bring him some flour and some weed, and I don't know how to roll it, and they all fucking started laughing at me. Everyone started laughing at me, and I felt so stupid, and this lady looks over, she goes, young man, get over here. So I'm like, whoa. I say, she goes, give me that there bag. So she grabbed that little bag. She goes, come sit your ass down right here. So I sat down right next to her, and her son sat down. He had a little light. It was starting to get a little bit dark. I sat in front of her, and she started talking, just went off about whatever. I don't even remember. And she whipped up 2 joints so fast off of a cell phone top, like this, like 2 little joints. And she handed it to me, and she said, you tell your Uncle Mark that Susie Q from the Voodoo Moonshine Band rolled his joints for him. I said, okay. So I grabbed those 2 joints and I walked over to my dad and Betty, and I sat down. I was like, that was a crazy shit. That lady just rolled these up. They were laughing at me, So my uncle finally shows up late, like an hour later, whatever, from the airport. I see the van pull up. My dad's like, your uncle's here. Let's go do the meet and greet. So we go in and we wait for everybody to go through, because my dad's been seeing him. They're cousins. They've been seeing each other forever, right? I've never seen them. So I get to the meet and greet, and my dad says, here he is. So I shake his hands like, hey, Uncle Mark. And he's like, hey, what's going on, brother? And I said, do you want these? He goes, oh, no. He goes, you give me those in that back room over there. And I said, okay. I was like, all right. So I kind of like hid down and like, we'll see you in the back room. So then he took us around, and he took us to the side room where all the band members were. Well, Voodoo Moonshine Band was one of the bands there that was funny. So I walk in, and everyone's laughing because I'm the guy that didn't know how to roll a joint. The other bands was my uncle's band with all the other drummers, and those guys were super dope. And then they had the 72nd Street Band there, a bunch of white guys. It was stupid funny. And so Now, this is what's really crazy. So my uncle comes up to me and he says, you got them joints? I said, yes, I do. And I pulled it out and I hand it to him and he goes, I'll be right back. So he takes off and my dad hits me and he goes, he's going to go smoke one of those. He's all funny. Like my dad doesn't smoke, you know? So he's all getting giddy. So then I start talking and when we, just so you know, wrap it back. There's been a guy coming out on stage in front of the amphitheater talking to everybody about, hey, our show's getting ready to start. And he's like holding his side, and he kept holding his side like really hard. And he's like, hey, I was on my motorcycle on Wednesday and I was coming down the goddamn road and someone pulled in front of me and I just freaking hit and went flying over top of them. And I don't know how the hell I'm here today, but today's Saturday. We're here to kick some ass. Let's have some fun. And I was like, holy shit. So he walks in and I'm in the back. And I go, so when I'm in the back, that guy goes back out and he talks more and he comes back in and I see him and I said, hey, try my cream. I said, if you would just go in the bathroom right now and just go rub it. He goes, F that bathroom, man. He grabbed that cream. He goes, I'll use anything right now. He goes, I just got in an accident on Wednesday, man. And here I am, you know, I'm like, dude, I don't know how you're doing it. He was huge, big old fluffy, white haired, like it was big old beard. And he put that cream on, man. He went back outside there. Like he just put the cream on. He looked at me. And then he just walked out and back on the stage. And he just started shouting out my name. And he's like, this Jefro guy, he just now hooked me up some shit. And I just put on my freaking ribs. And he's like, holy shit. And everyone saw him out there earlier just like holding his ribs. And he's like, look at this, man. He's like holding his arms up. He's like, you see this? And I just listened to this shit. And I'm like, this is dope. Like, and everybody in the bands, we're in the back now. I already gave creams to like the drummer, the pianist, and everybody. Each group, it was like there were all the people there. And then I got to go take pictures of everybody because when you walk in the back, they had taken pictures of every single band that's been there, and they're all on plaques everywhere across the wall. So when they went there, they all got their pictures and stuff, and then I got to get in all the photos. It was just really fun to be able to show that you can use a topical cream anywhere for any application for any person in any way. And on top of that, I had a lady just come in because I work with Renee Harbaugh with Pause for AZ Pause for a Cause, and also for she uses my creams and puts her labels on them at Mountain View Chiropractic. It's just one of the places we work with. Mm-hmm. And she sent the lady over to get tinctures from me for her dog because I can help doggies out. You know, would they have that real hyperactive syndrome? You can so I work with that. I work with animals also with creams on healing the doggies. And like if they have acne around their chin, I've removed the bulldogs that cost like $7,000, $10,000. Mm-hmm. I work with people that have those doggies and heal them up. We've had doggies that have tumors in between their paws, gone in 1 week. I removed a paw from my buddy, a Dallas Diamond Pets. And so they're using it, call it paw putty. They want to put it for all the doggies because they freaked out when I helped his doggie. Overnight, his acne was gone. So we do that for us too, for our acne and us when we shave and we get cuts. My stuff takes like that, gone, man. Nothing. Wow. Put yourself with a knife and you're cutting your vegetables, put the cream on it, it's gone in the morning. It's healed up, sealed up, like it never happened. You don't even feel the pain. Wow. This is consistent. I mean, I can just every time. I mean, it was funny because that was from Unk, who just got off our show, just told us about. He said his buddy's son was playing a game. He had scratched up his leg. And then he had put the cream on it. And then the next day, his father was cutting something, and he was cutting an avocado he talked about last time, I think. And when he's cut his finger, and he's like, no shit, man. He's like, I'm like, he's like, what do I do? And his son, he's like, I had to go ask my son, and my son told me, use that cream you told me to use. And then he put my cream on his finger, and he goes, would you believe it? I woke up next day, my cut's gone. No, nothing, like no pain. It's gone. It's like, my son, when he burnt his hand with the boiling water, it's on Instagram. And he had a hole across his hand. He took a picture of it and told everybody that if you put the cream on right away after you burn yourself, there's nothing. The next day, all gone. It was like a big giant bowl of water around his hand because it boiled it. Wow. So when he did that, he put it on there and it was all gone. Wow. There you go. So that's what works. It works. That's it.
Gonna heal the world.
thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to be here and tell you my story.
Always, Jared and Jeffrey,
Really
and
do.
you just definitely got to get to the Instagram site. It's used. Check out the photos, the pictures. It got the testimonies. Got Unk on there. You know, with
Yep.
the video
Unk's
of
doing the
Unk
jumping jacks,
doing the
and then we got
jumping
another
jacks.
thing. How about the the event coming up? We got a 11 state tour coming with Miv Scatterman and OGZ,
There
right?
it is. Yep. All of it's
So
on the website. Yep.
yep. So we're really pushing something. That's with my buddy Eric, and he's a really dope dude, man. He's gone through a hell of a lot, but he deserves more than what he has because of what he's done for others. And you know, he just lost his son and stuff too. So you know, we go through that with pain, and you just did that with your grandson. So it's like, you know, that shock, that awe, that feeling of loss, and you don't know what's going to happen. It's just so scary.
Still
It
nervous.
makes you, yes. And it makes me think about my kids at 21 and 22. He's going to be 23 right now. And I'm thinking about how young these kids are right now. And that we just have been to too many of these funerals for too many losses for ignorant things. And it's not just about, it's just, you know, you're driving and something gets in the way, you wreck, you live, but your buddies in the back are dead. And so now you have to live with that the rest of your life. You know, I've been watching this. This just happened too. So we've been just, you know, one of my other partners passed. I have 2 partners passed away. It's just sad, man. I don't understand. So let's live for now. Let's have gratitude.
Let's live.
You know, and let's move forward with what we have to give to everybody. We have an opportunity. If people want samples, have them reach out. Let's get them samples. Let's show them what we can do. And let's start healing the world, because I've been doing this for a long time and I'm only getting better. And I just want to keep on perfecting that with God's will and his help and the help from, you know, you and your network.
We're going to make it happen because
from Mr. Owens.
Yep.
Appreciate it, man.
It's all going down. We're going to make it happen and bring it up because, you know, it's a product that works. You know, I work and I'm getting ready to do the ultimate with somebody, a cousin of mine that has, you know, hips and shoulders, is carpenter. So I'm getting ready to touch him and get him together.
He's going to love you, man. Be careful. You married? You married? Be careful. You're just going to start getting giddy, man. You start falling in love. You start touching too much of that cream. You're like, whoo, it wasn't me. It's a cream, brother. Shit.
Make that work. Make that work. So, yeah, so it's out there. I know I felt it myself, and we're going on with it. But, yeah, right here, iHipHopTV, right here. Jefro's Botanicals, man. Right here. Catch up on taxes. Tune in. You want to subscribe, lock in, tap in, join in, and participate, because this is real talk and it's growing every day.
Exactly. Thank you very much for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jared. And thank you, our viewers, you know, for showing up. Peace.
Peace out.
Blessings.
Blessings.